The golden embossed lettering on the wedding invitation gleamed under the harsh fluorescent office lights. Liam and Olivia cordially invite you. My brother's wedding, a supposed social event of the year, had been orchestrated by my mother like a royal coronation ever since Liam proposed to Olivia Chen, daughter of one of the city's wealthiest families. The irony was a bitter taste on my tongue. 10 years ago, Liam had scoffed when I dropped out of business school to launch my own venture. "Anya's throwing her life away," he'd declared to our parents over dinner. "She'll come crawling back when she runs out of cash." But I never did. Instead, I meticulously built Summit Industries from the ground up, armed with just a second-hand laptop and a garage that doubled as my office. While Liam ascended the corporate ladder at Chen Enterprises, Olivia's family business, I poured 18-hour days into my dream, and I made it a reality. Today, Summit Industries is valued at over $2 billion, though my family remained blissfully unaware. I'd carefully shrouded my ownership through an intricate web of holding companies. As far as they knew, I was merely another mid-level tech executive. "Miss Albright?" My assistant's voice, crisp and professional, pulled me from my thoughts. "The board meeting starts in 5. I nodded, setting the invitation aside. "Oh, and Chen Enterprises sent over the final contract for the semiconductor deal. They're expecting signatures by week's end." Ah yes, a $50 million contract for custom semiconductors desperately needed by Chen Enterprises to salvage their floundering product launch. And they were utterly oblivious that they were negotiating with me. The wedding was that weekend. I considered skipping it, but my mother's voice still echoed in my ears. "Your brother is marrying into the Chen family. Try to dress appropriately for once." I had built a billion-dollar company in jeans and hoodies, but to her, I was still a disappointment. The unveiling. The wedding day dawned sunlight streaming across manicured gardens and reflecting off marble pillars. I arrived in an understated black designer dress, elegant, refined, but subtle enough that my family wouldn't recognize the label. It was everything you'd expect when old money married new 500 guests, champagne fountains, and enough floral arrangements to fill a forest. "Anya!" My mother air-kissed my cheek, meticulously avoiding any smudge to her flawless makeup. "You actually came and you look presentable." Behind her, my father chatted animatedly with Mr. Chen, undoubtedly discussing the semiconductor deal. If only they knew. "Where should I sit?" I asked, eyeing the elaborate seating chart. "Oh," my mother said vaguely, her gaze flitting around the room. "We had to make last-minute changes. Olivia's family had important guests, you understand." I understood perfectly. I always did. The ceremony itself was beautiful. Olivia was radiant and Liam smug. I watched from the back, feeling unseen and underestimated as always. Later at the reception in the grand ballroom, guests searched for their names on glimmering place cards. Mine was nowhere to be found. "Looking for something." Olivia's voice floated over my shoulder, syrupy sweet but laced with a subtle malice. "My seat," I stated flatly. Her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. "Didn't anyone tell you we had to make some adjustments? The kitchen staff set up a lovely table in the back." Laughter rippled nearby, too close for comfort. Liam sauntered over, a glass of champagne in hand. "Come on, sis, don't make a scene. You've always been good at knowing your place." 10 years of condescension crashed over me like a tidal wave. I smiled, pulled out my phone, and dialed Jack, my head of legal. "Cancel the semiconductor contract with Chen Enterprises, all of it." Liam's glass slipped from his fingers, shattering on the polished floor. "What are you talking about?" he demanded, his voice laced with confusion. "What contract?" I showed him my screen, the Summit Industries logo front and center. "The $50 million deal your new father-in-law was counting on. The one my company was about to provide." His face drained of color. That's a multi-billion-dollar company. You can't what, Liam, be more than the version of me you decided I was?" I slipped the phone back into my purse. "Congratulations on your wedding. I'm sure the kitchen staff will save you some cake." The room went still. Champagne glasses paused midair. Conversations froze. Olivia's perfect mask finally cracked. "You're lying," she hissed, her voice trembling with disbelief. "Summit is owned by Simon Albright. Everyone knows that." "Simon's my uncle," I corrected, my voice calm. "He's the public face. I built it from the ground up." I raised an eyebrow. "Would you like to call him?" Olivia's father, Mr. Chen, appeared, his brows furrowed in confusion and growing alarm. "Liam, what is your sister talking about?" I turned to him and extended a hand. "Mr. Chen Anya Albright, CEO of Summit Industries. Though you probably know me better as AA Holdings." His mouth fell open. You're AA, the one who's been buying our suppliers." "Guilty?" I said with a faint smile. "And your due diligence team should have done theirs. A basic background check might have helped." My mother pushed through the stunned crowd, her eyes blazing with a mixture of anger and panic. "Anya, stop this nonsense. You're ruining your brother's wedding." "Nonsense." I pulled out my phone again. "Would you like to see our financials ownership documents?" Liam grabbed my arm, his grip tight, almost desperate. Fix this, he growled. Whatever stunt you're pulling, fix it. I leaned in, my voice a low, cold whisper. He spent 10 years underestimating me, Liam. This is me finally returning the favor. I met his eyes, steady and unwavering. Like when I needed a loan to start my company, I asked. When I came to you for help and you laughed in my face. Get a real job, you said. Stop embarrassing the family. Liam's jaw tightened. That was different. You were being unrealistic. I gestured around the glittering ballroom. Who paid for all this, Liam Chen Enterprises? The company that's 3 months from bankruptcy without my semiconductors. Olivia let out a sharp gasp, mascara streaking down her cheeks. Daddy, is this true? Mr. Chen's polished composure finally cracked. He loosened his tie, sweat beading along his temples. Princess, it's complicated. Business is dying. Your company's been bleeding for years, I cut in softly. That deal was your last lifeline. And now, my father finally spoke, confusion and shame etched across his face. Anya, all these years we thought you were struggling. I was building an empire, I replied, my voice carrying a quiet power. One that now overshadows Chen Enterprises and everything tied to it. Around us, whispers rose. Guests pulled out their phones, rapidly searching. Summit Industries. Anya Albright. The dots connected in real time. Olivia's perfect wedding was spiraling into a disaster, one she couldn't PR spin her way out of. The reckoning. Please, Liam said hoarsely, his arrogance finally crumbling. Not today. Think about what this will do to our family. I let out a hollow laugh. Our family? You mean the one that cut me out of every holiday photo because I didn't wear designer clothes? The one that said I was wasting my life? My mother stepped forward, trying to control the rapidly spreading chaos. We were worried, Anya. We wanted you to have a respectable career like Liam. I arched a brow. The perfect son who's been embezzling from his department to cover his gambling debts? Liam went pale. How do you— I own the firm that audits Chen Enterprises, I said flatly, the words cutting through the stunned silence. I know everything, Liam. Every fake number, every dollar you stole. I was just waiting to see how far you'd fall. Olivia recoiled, her voice trembling with a mixture of disgust and fear. You've been stealing from my father's company. The ballroom had transformed into a dramatic stage. Phones recorded, eyes watched, and power irrevocably shifted. Mr. Chen snarled. Security, get them out. I wouldn't, I said calmly, my voice resonating with authority. Unless you want Summit to call in the loans. We now own your creditors well. Most of them answer to me now. One phone call and they'll demand repayment in full. The security guards hesitated. They could feel it too. The balance had undeniably changed. What do you want? Mr. Chen finally asked, his voice strained. I smoothed my black dress, simple, elegant, and the same one my mother had sneered at earlier. I have what I want, a company worth billions, the respect you all said I'd never earn, and the satisfaction of knowing your survival now depends on me. Liam stumbled forward, desperation etched on his face. Please, Anya, we can work something out. A seat on the board, full partnership. Liam, I said with a slow, deliberate smile. By next week, I'll own a controlling stake in Chen Enterprises. The deal was a formality. Your gambling and your father-in-law's mismanagement sealed the rest. Olivia sank into a nearby chair, her gown pooling around her like shattered illusions. This isn't happening. Not today. Not at my wedding. You'll find the kitchen staff has a lovely table set up, I replied, echoing her earlier cruelty, my voice cool and detached. Perfect for a family in your new position. My mother made one last desperate attempt. Anya, please, we're your family. I looked at her, my gaze unwavering. You're the people who taught me that success only counts if it comes with designer labels and society connections. Thank you for that. It made building my company in secret delicious. I turned to leave, then paused. Oh, and Liam, those gambling debts, Summit owns them now. We'll be in touch about a payment plan. As I walked out, the chaos behind me erupted Olivia's sobs. Mr. Chen's furious demands, my mother's fraying dignity. Outside, my Tesla waited quiet and understated like the woman no one saw coming. Everything okay, Miss Albright? My driver and head of security asked. I glanced back at the collapsing empire behind me. Perfect, I said, a sense of profound satisfaction settling over me. Let's go. We've got a company to finalize. Lessons learned and new beginnings. 3 months later, Chen Enterprises was mine. The headlines screamed the story. Liam's embezzlement, the failed wedding, the stock crash. Olivia filed for annulment within the week. My parents' voicemails shifted from denial to desperation. I ignored them. I had work to do, streamlining, rebuilding, shedding corruption. Most of the loyal employees stayed. The corrupt leadership didn't. Then one day my assistant buzzed me. Unexpected visitor. Send them in, I said without looking up. The scent of expensive though last season perfume wafted into the air. I looked up. It was my mother. The receptionist didn't recognize me, she said softly, clutching her handbag, a last season clutch tightly. Security protocol, I replied, my voice level. We've had some interesting visitors since the takeover. She sat uninvited. We've been thinking, she began, her voice hesitant, about how we treated you, what we failed to see. And I kept my voice level, watching her carefully. We were wrong, she whispered, her voice trembling with a raw regret. We were so terribly wrong. We thought success looked like Liam all flash no substance. We didn't realize that real success was what you were quietly building. I leaned back in my chair, studying her. Did you come here to apologize, or because the country club dues are due and you need help covering them? She flinched. We deserve that, all of it. But Anya, you're still our daughter. Surely that means something. It meant nothing when I needed your support, I said evenly. Why should it mean something now that I don't? A single tear slipped down her perfectly made-up cheek. Because we've learned. Because seeing what you've built, what you've become, we're proud of you, Anya. Even if we don't deserve to be. I stood and walked to the window, looking out at the city skyline. My skyline. Summit Industries had grown into a major player in the tech world, sleek, respected, unstoppable. Pride is easy when success is visible. I said, my gaze fixed on the bustling streets below. Would you have been proud of me back when I was working out of a garage wearing the same 3 shirts on rotation because every spare cent went into the company? No, she whispered, her voice barely audible. And that's our shame to carry. I turned back toward her. Liam called yesterday, wanted a job at Summit. Her face lit with a fragile hope. And I told him exactly what he told me 10 years ago. Get some real experience first. Stop relying on family connections. She looked down. He's living in our guest room now. Olivia's family. They've cut all ties since the scandal. The mighty fall hard. I said, a touch of something unreadable in my voice. How does it feel, Mother, to be on the other side of society's judgment? Humbling, she murmured. Terrifying. Educational. I pressed a button on my desk. Clara, bring in the package for Mrs. Albright. A moment later, my assistant entered with a thick envelope. I handed it to my mother. What's this? She asked, carefully opening it. A fresh start, I said. Inside, you'll find information about Summit's small business loan program, commercial real estate listings, contact info for business advisors. Everything you need if you're willing to work for it. She stared at the documents, then back at me, a flicker of something new in her eyes. You'd help us after everything. I'm not helping, Mother. I'm offering an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you. But make no mistake, no shortcuts, no special treatment, no trading on the Albright name. If you want to succeed, you'll have to earn it. She stood slowly, clutching the envelope like a lifeline. Thank you, Anya, for the chance and for the lesson. As she reached the door, I spoke once more. One more thing. That kitchen table at Liam's wedding, the one you sat me at. She nodded, bracing herself. Best seat in the house. I said, a wry smile playing on my lips. It's where you get a clear view of who people really are. Her expression softened with understanding, then she left. I turned back to my desk. My company needed me. I had more important things to do than dwell on the past. Sometimes the best revenge isn't humble pie. It's watching the people who dismissed you eat it at the table they set for you. And sometimes the greatest success isn't proving others wrong. It's proving yourself right. Epilogue. Summit Industries grew into one of the most respected tech firms in the country. Liam eventually landed a job as a junior analyst at a small consulting firm, learning perhaps, for the first time, the value of honest work. My parents opened a small boutique with a loan they qualified for through Summit. It wasn't glamorous, but it was theirs, and it was real. As for me, I still keep the old workbench from my garage in the corner of my office. It reminds me where I started, and why appearances mean nothing compared to what you build. Because in the end, the kitchen table isn't just where people eat. It's where truths are revealed, and destinies forged. Valuable lessons to heed. Underestimation can be a powerful motivator. Don't let others' low expectations define your potential. Use their doubt as fuel to prove yourself right. True success is built, not given. Lasting achievement comes from hard work, dedication, and resilience, not from connections or superficial status. Integrity matters. Dishonesty and unethical practices, no matter how clever, will eventually lead to downfall. Family dynamics can be complex. While family ties are strong, sometimes the greatest growth comes from setting boundaries and seeking validation from within. Forgiveness can come with conditions. Offering opportunities for redemption is a sign of strength, but ensuring accountability is crucial. What are your thoughts on Anya's journey? Share your comments below. If you enjoyed this story of resilience and triumph, consider subscribing to our newsletter for more compelling narratives and insights.